Hi, Victor. How are you?
Good, how are
I'm good. Good to see you.
you? To see you. Long time no see, huh? We're all so distant now.
We're sitting right next to each other, guys, just so you know. But, anyways, welcome to another podcast of Approaching Your Future, guys. We're super excited to have you guys here. Um, Welcome to Approaching Your Future with your hosts, Dana Khan and Victor Ribeiro, where we take steps forward towards your goals. And today we'll be discussing spring in Boston, feel the bloom. So we're gonna be talking a bit about what spring in Boston is like, what we can do as students here, what we can do as people living in Boston, of course, and what we should take advantage of because I think spring is probably like some of the best time in Boston because summer is too hot. What do you think, B?
I agree. I mean, like this winter specifically is pretty, New England winter. I mean, like you never know when it's gonna be too cold or too hot. But if there's something for certain is that spring means summer is coming up, which means that we won't have as much snow. It's a good time. I mean, like a lot of students do leave the city. Incredibly, I mean, of course, there's a spring break, but we can get deeper into that. Definitely, I am definitely a big fan of spring though.
Yes, agreed. I mean, I just think that like this time around, the spring is warmer, because like I mean we've had really like shifty weather in Boston lately, guys, but we've also seen that there's been days where like it's been pretty hot. So I'm kind of excited for this spring. I think it's gonna get hotter quicker.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, like, if there is something that is very interesting about Boston, is just the way the weather is. So that's why new seasons here are actually fun and exciting because, when it's winter, it's too cold. When it's summer, it might be too hot. So I always prefer either spring or fall because it's like between both. If there's something really interesting about fall here is that it's all orange, but spring is the blooming season, right? So, which is something that we're going to be talking about.
Exactly. Oh, sorry. Exactly, V. I agree. So yeah, as you guys see on the screen, the first thing we want to talk about is our activities calendar, guys. This is available to everyone, not just our students. You can find it on our Instagram, and everyone can check out this calendar. So here we have different offerings, and we want to show you guys what we've got planned this spring for you. So we have different offerings for both students and non-students alike. We have some free resources, social media, different events that we do for everyone, as well as some things that are just specifically for our students. So we'll walk you guys a bit through our calendar so you guys can understand it properly. But let me just open this tab and show you guys. Can you see my mouse? No?
Yes, yes, I
Yes?
can see your mouse.
Awesome. Let's go a bit through it, guys. So, as you guys see, this calendar has basically most of our online activities, and this kind of talks about a bit about what you can do in March. So, if you go, for example, on the Mondays, we always have a cultural tips live stream. What does this mean? We get on our Instagram and then we do a live stream for like 20 minutes or so. I usually do this live stream, and here we talk about different things that can affect the international students in the US or different aspects of American culture that can help or benefit international students around the world and be knowledgeable on them. So we talk about different things like maybe some opportunities at the school, or sometimes we do a bit about, for example, last week, I mean, at the beginning of this week, we talked about International Women's Day as we were celebrating that. But next week, we'll be giving a bit of some tips on how to do email etiquette, how to write properly, like professionally professionally and communicate with your bosses or with your teachers or with whoever you want to communicate in a professional way and in a professional setting. So I think that is super cool to see them, guys. It's a great opportunity to check these live streams out. And for example, on the 21st, we're gonna update the activities that you can do in spring. We're gonna be giving a live stream on things to do during spring break in Massachusetts, and then we're gonna be talking a bit more about the activities. There will be new things coming out, you know. But without further ado, I'm gonna show you guys a bit more about it. We also have our happening in Boston. So this is a new feature that we added to our calendar, and this is specifically keeping in mind people that are non-students of Approach. So here, guys, if you're international students and you're living in Boston, you can go through this calendar and click it. For example, happening in Boston. This is a Women and the Esplanade guided tour. It was celebrating Women's History Month on this Wednesday, and if you click on it, it's going to take you to that link and you can actually check out that event. So I think that that is a great thing to know. You know, apart from that, we have like different. For example, today there's an event in Boston where you can meet your local chocolatiers. Can you see my screen of the local chocolatiers? V? I'm not sure.
Yes, I can see. I can see your screen. Not the local chocolatiers. I can still see your calendar.
My calendar. Okay. I'm actually gonna show you guys like what I mean when I say that. So, for example, I'm gonna share my entire screen instead so you can see how I move. But basically, for example, here you have the activities calendar, and when you click here, you can go to the chocolatier page and sign up for this event, which is I'm pretty sure a, almost a free event. Even it's $10 per person, but it's a free event which suggests a donation. So here, for example, if you join this event, guys, you can go to the Nuts and actually have meet different people that make chocolates. Sorry, I was saying chocolates. People that make chocolates in the U.S. and have some chocolates and do little tasting tests. I mean, I would go. It's such fun activities to do, you know? So definitely check them out, guys. Click on the different ones. There's, for example, a lot of breweries are having a lot of events. There's free comedy. Most of these events are actually free. So make sure to check them out. For example, free wine tasting. Who wouldn't take that on? And if you have kids, the Dino Safari walkthrough adventure is super fun to do. It's just opening up again. So definitely check these things out. Um, and apart from that, guys, we also have our different live streams. So on Wednesdays, we have our admissions live, where we talk about what students applying to Approach need to know, or students looking to apply to a school in the US. And on Fridays, we have our podcast, which you're seeing right now. On Thursdays, we have our grammar live stream, which means our teacher, one of the teachers from the academic department, they give tips on different grammar. So it's pretty cool, you know. We try to offer as much as we can to our community, and I think these are some events that you can look forward to during the spring.
Definitely, and to add up to it, Donna, I think it's like super interesting because in this calendar, people can also check the future topics in which we'll be talking about at approaching your future. So, like, if you really like to listen to us and you'd like to catch us live, you can check the calendar. You can also find it in our social media. You can, if you are a student, you probably have it in your email on your quick schools. So, just make sure to check that out. There are a lot of cool, fun things to do in Boston. And if you're a student and you're looking to make more friends, if you're looking to enjoy more of the spring, that's the opportunity for you, definitely.
I agree, V. I agree completely. Um, honestly, I think that it's a great resource because you guys can actually access different things that we have, and not only that, but access things from outside Approach, such as different events that are free. So definitely check it out if you're an international student. I think it's something that you can benefit a lot from. The other thing I wanted to share with you guys was this document that I found. The Boston calendar is probably like the holy grail for everyone, for all international students, for people that are non-international students. It's the Bostonian holy grail. So what you need to do usually is just go on Google and look up the Boston calendar. And what will happen is, for example, if you click on the Boston calendar, you'll see it's for every single day. You Let's say it's a Friday night and you have nothing to do and you're like, I want to explore Boston. So for example, you go in the category and you click free, and then it's gonna and then you look it up, and you're gonna have all events that are free. And then you can have like like learn Spanish while having lunch or something like that. There's different things that you can do with this calendar of activities, but it's super fun to keep in mind. And definitely check out all the activities that Boston offers. But apart from that, let's talk a bit about what to do during spring in Boston. And I think that one of the things that people that live here are always the most excited about is when the outdoors dining opens again, right, V?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's this place in Central Square that's in Cambridge, which is technically Boston too, called Phoenix Landing. It's also in our calendar. I love when they open the front space of their restaurant and you can just sit on the sidewalk, have some food, maybe grab some drinks. It's actually really fun. And there are other places. I mean, like, if you go to Newbury Street, you find a lot of interesting places to eat and drink outside, which is one of my favorite things to here in the spring and in the summer. What do you think, Anita? Do you also like the Phoenix?
I love the Phoenix. I do. So definitely go check out Phoenix Landing in Central Square. It has beautiful outdoor space and great food. It's a great bar, great music as well. Go check it out on a Tuesday because we'll probably be there. Um, but apart from that, if you see here, apart from like the Phoenix Landing, which somehow the Phoenix Landing manages to have outdoor dining most of the time. I don't know how they do it, but they do manage to have outdoor dining most of the year round. But for example, once when spring starts, Newberry, that long main street in Boston, they close a bit of the street so that the restaurants can go into the street and have their outdoor dining. That is my favorite part of the year because you get to walk around the whole street with worrying about no cars, and you're just dining and like dining outside. The street is beautiful, and there's so many different restaurants around. So this happens in the North End. This happens in Newbury, in Central Square, wherever there is like a bunch of restaurants. Or tend to be together like a heavy restaurant zone. That tends to happen, and it's so fun. I think that there's a different feeling to having like brunch cocktail than a late night bar cocktail. Like, and brunch cocktails, like I I I think they're the best. I think, in my opinion, they're my favorite type of time to go out to eat food and to like have a drink or something like that. It's not at night. At night, I want to be home and go to bed. It's in the like the 12 p.m. when you're having a brunch and it's a beautiful sunny day and you're having a margarita and eating some tacos. Like that's kind of like my idea of like I guess like the ideal lifestyle in Boston, and so I'm looking forward to it. It means that I'm probably gonna be broke, 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 but I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I mean, like Boston has a huge brunch culture. I like to say. I mean, I think actually the United States has this thing. In Brazil, we don't really know the term brunch. It's just lunch, which usually comes out at 4 p.m. in the weekends. But I mean, like it is really cool. I mean, there are a few places in Boston that you can have amazing food, like for brunch. There are different areas that you can find awesome spots. The Friendly Toast is actually one of my favorites if you want to get like really, really good, decent brunch and it's a cool environment. If you go to South End, you'll definitely find like a lot of cool places where you can sit outdoor, have like a nice mimosa. And I cannot forget about the North End, honestly. North End is amazing for brunch. Just know, guys, North End is awesome for that. Any place downtown that has a diner, it might be really good for brunch at least. I can guarantee you that, as long as you're not spending too much. But I know that in the North End there are like a lot of different options, mostly like you said, Donna, like you can do outside dining. And there's this place that is actually owned by a Brazilian guy called Theo's Cozy Corner. It's a diner in the North End owned by a Brazilian guy, and the brunch there is simply amazing. And I would recommend anyone to go there. Like go like on a Sunday or in a Saturday morning, but make sure you get there early because I'm not the only one who knows that gym. There are a lot of people that likes to go there, so make sure you get there early if you're going for an awesome brunch. But yeah, those are my tips. And as you can see, like I've done quite a lot of that nowadays. My deal is different when it gets to the weekends, but I totally respect that, and I think that soon I'll be back into that routine of like actually having brunch and stuff like that. It's just the weather. The weather kind of like gets us to inside of our homes, I guess.
Definitely. The weather gets us, and that's like the thing that I like about spring, because it's like it makes me want to get out of my house during the day. And I think that's a big thing about like weekends. We kind of tend to stay in during the winter, and then when spring comes, it's like a whole new world. Like I love it. I love spring, but I just wanted to show you guys a bit more about the 24 things you can do in spring in Boston. Definitely check out local markets. So what happens is during spring and summer, local markets start opening up back up again, and there's so many different local markets in Boston. I would definitely recommend going to Sowa to check out the art and the artists. That's like it's a local market about art, an art local market. But there's also so many farmers market. If I'm not mistaken, there's a farmers market that goes along along one of the main streets of North End, right before Quincy and Faneuil Hall. And then there's so many others. I'm sure V knows more markets than I do.
Yes, I mean like there are a lot of cool markets. I mean there's the farmers market in the North End too that you can go every morning on Fridays and Saturdays. In Cambridge they also have a farmers market in Central Square. But if you're just shopping for groceries and you just want a general tip, honestly, you cannot go wrong with Trader Joe's or Market Basket. Why? Because quality is top notch and the price is actually affordable. Either you are like a college student or ESL student, or if you're just, you know, coming, you just came to Boston to chill and you're gonna spend a month or two, and you need a place to get your groceries. You know, you can go for these places. They definitely will. You definitely will be very happy with whatever you get there, and you'll be very happy with how much you pay for that. You know. So yeah, those are my tips. I think you're also a big fan of Trader Joe's, right?
I am. I love Trader Joe's. I honestly love shopping there. But I'll definitely start hitting some markets, some food markets when they open, and farmers markets, because I want to check it out. I want to start living that lifestyle as well. So I definitely want to
Oh
see
my
them.
god. No, let me tell you, like in the farmers market, you can buy like a whole box, like let's say like those little boxes of strawberries that you pay $6, $7 in Trader Joe's. You can actually buy two of those for $2 usually in in the farmers market, and it's like so cheap. It's so cheap, and it's worth it. I mean, it's worth it, but it's like for the week. That's the strategy. You cannot over, you cannot bulk and buy too much because if you do, everything's gonna go bad and you're gonna waste your money. But if you're keeping it for the same week, you're all good to go. As long as you know how to preserve your things, because that's something that for me it took a while to learn. You know, like to how not to spoil my food in the fridge or outside of the fridge. So just keep in mind of that. But I'm pretty sure that whoever is watching us already know their things on how to do this. So
I agree, V. I agree with you. I mean, I definitely have a hard time um maintaining and preserving my food. So I think I will definitely have to buy small things when I go to the farmers market, but I'm looking forward to it. And I also wanted to show you guys a bit more of what this document offers and highlights, such as the kayaking that and the paddleboarding that goes on in the Charles River. Definitely super fun. It's gonna be opening in May 1st, but definitely keep an eye out for this, because I think it's super fun to go kayaking and paddleboarding. I personally am a huge fan of sailing, and I used to sail a lot when I lived in the Dominican Republic, and I've been just waiting to be in Boston on during summer so I can go sailing, in the Charles River. So if you're a sailor and you have that in mind, also go check that out. There's so many different harbors in Boston, or different sailing groups as well, and also take a walk in the Esplanade, because the Esplanade is beautiful. The commons and the public garden, they bloom with flowers, they blossom. So it's a great place to go and see the beauty of spring in Boston, you know.
yeah, definitely. And I'm not sure if they mentioned there, but in Boston, I mean, I'm pretty sure we mentioned the calendar, but there's like an exhibit, right, for flowers, like gardening. Which one is it?
Yes, so what there is an exhibit that happens usually every year. It's a flower show that takes place in the Seaport World Trade Center. but they have not announced a date for this year. I'm not sure if they will be opening this time around or not. For now, the date is TBD, and they say that it might happen during April, but definitely keep an eye out. That is it's a
Yeah.
beautiful garden show. It's definitely gonna happen. I'm sure it will. So just take a look at when the dates are gonna be. Keep an eye out for that. But beautiful garden show. It's a
Yeah.
gardening and flower show, and basically inside the World Trade Center, they create these beautiful gardens with houses around. So keep an eye out for that one because
Yeah.
that one's a great place to go.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. And we have like the Gardner Museum that is in that style too, right? And it's really really beautiful in there. It looks like it's kind of like you're walking back in time. It's so nice. The architecture of that building is like Europe. You know, it's like you're going to a museum in France, and it's so green. It's so nice. Definitely worth a visit. Take a lot of pictures there, and wherever you go, like actually, like in this area, let's say not necessarily in Boston, but in the surrounding areas of Boston, that are more like open. Like we said, going more to the countryside or to the west of Boston, you actually see a lot of national parks that are actually really worth visiting if you like hiking too, and so there are a lot of things like that. I see there too, Dana, that the arboretum of Harvard is also one of the suggestions, and I definitely would also recommend that one. I've personally been there. The space is super nice. It's really beautiful. And right now in spring, just know that like it's kind of like that time where you actually see the flowers and plants blooming. So it might be a really good time to start seeing those things at the arboretum. I have so much trouble saying that. It's kind of funny, but yeah. Anyways, these are my tips.
Yeah, no, definitely that Arnold. I can't say it either. The Arnold Arboretum. Um, it's Victor has talked about it for so long that definitely go check it out just so that he stops talking about it because it's a beautiful place, guys, and it's just
Yes.
it has a lot of different species of trees. Definitely go check it out. That and also as Victor said, the Stewart Gardner Museum is gorgeous, and during spring, even better. The weather is great. You can see the sunny sky right above you because the museum is completely open. And apart from that, the ICA, the MFA, all of these museums get a lot of different exhibits during summer and spring, and so check that out. And with that in mind, definitely. If you're a student at Approach, you can join us in going to the Frida Immersive Experience that is taking place now in Boston. It's done by the same people who created the Van Gogh experience. This one is called Frida Immersive Dream, and we're going to be taken through the world of Frida Kahlo. So if you're interested in that and in joining us and you're a student at Approach, sign up through our activities calendar. And if you're not a student at Approach, go check it out because it's one of those one in a lifetime exhibits, that you need to see it. So go check it out. It's gonna be taking place all throughout the spring and the rest of the year. It already started happening. It already opened, so you can go check out that website and sign up for a ticket. It's not too expensive. It's around $30 or $40 depending on the day. So something to keep in mind, definitely.
Yep, yep, yep. And yeah, I think those are really really good things to do. Other than that, like there are a lot of other things that you can do in Boston that you already know, like going to the Fenway Park to a Red Sox game, or going to the Harbor area. Like we said, you can always grab a beer in an outdoor beer garden. Like there are a lot of them, like around Fenway. There are a lot of them around Somerville. Somerville is actually really good to find cool beer gardens and even more outdoorsy things. So there's clearly plenty to do in Boston. Just it's just about finding the right thing for you and what you like to do the most. But the city is safe, it's clean, it's beautiful. There's always so much to do, and there's always so much history. Even if you don't want to, go there necessarily. Even if you don't want to spend money, there are a lot of free things to do too. So make sure to take advantage of those and enjoy your spring. The best way you can, because time don't really go backwards. They always go forward.
Right. No, yeah, I agree, V. And like that is so like for example, the beer gardens, guys, is one of the most common things in Boston. I don't know why, but Bostonians love their beer. I guess it's because of Samuel Adams. But definitely go check out because there's so many breweries in Boston that are delicious. For example, I can or beer gardens. Like there's a beer garden that is in Seaport that is one of the most well-known beer gardens. Actually, it's pictured there. It's Cisco. That's exactly the name. Apart from that, there's Tall Ship that is right across the bridge on East Boston, and it's a beautiful like shipyard. Like it has a ship and it has a bar, and you can sit there and drink beer and dance. Super cool. There's also Arionaut in Somerville, really near Tufts. Beautiful brewery, and not only that, they've got amazing Venezuelan food there. They have some great arepas, and that's just what I can think of on the top of my head. There's also Night Shift Brewery, so there's many different breweries that you can go visit and have some delicious beer. And I also was gonna add that the Red Sox game is a rite of passage. Like if you're in Boston, this is your first year here, and it's nearing summer, you need to go to a Fenway Red Sox game. I think it's to meet the Fenway Stadium and also just watch the Red Sox, especially during summer, because that's what Bostonians love the most. You know.
For sure, for sure. And I think that these things are definitely like really like I don't know, like a Red Sox game, a Patriots game, a Boston Celtics game. Which, by the way, if you're a student and you are doing activities and you're interested in doing more activities, Don and I will be sending special invitations for people to join us on a not on a Red Sox, sorry, on a Boston Celtics game, which is basketball at the TD Garden. So make sure to go to our calendar, check it out again, sign up, or we're really excited to hang out with everyone. So that would be a good one.
I agree, V. So I will show the calendar one more time before we leave so that everyone knows how to sign up. But before that, I wanted to say last thing, go to Rooftops. Rooftops open during spring and summer, and I love Rooftops. You can see the whole skyline of Boston. You can have delicious cocktails. They tend to be a bit on the expensive side, so maybe don't go too many. Try to put them in one weekend here, one weekend there, but there's really beautiful rooftops in Boston. I can, at the top of my head, I can think of Lookout Rooftop and Seaport, which used to have these igloos during winter, but during the summer, it's a beautiful open space. Do you have any rooftops that you know of? Also, the Encore has a great rooftop. Do you have another one, V?
I know Earl's has a cool rooftop. I mean, it's not really much of a rooftop, but it kind of is. So, um, let me think. I don't really know many. I mean, like, I know that in North End there are a few restaurants that they have some sort of rooftop. But rooftop is definitely. I feel like you're more knowledgeable on those. I do see I do see that there are a lot of them around the downtown area. But I know too that like I know we're talking about Boston, but let me just add a side note. New York actually has the best rooftops.
That
So
is true. That is hands down. New York has the best rooftops.
yeah,
Definitely. That is
it's
no
beautiful
doubt.
there.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt, no doubt. But if you want a bit of New York and Boston, check out some rooftops. Go to Lookout Bar. Go to there's a new rooftop in downtown, right in front of the Boston Common. I've heard of that one a lot. I haven't checked it out yet, but I will soon. Encore Boston has a beautiful rooftop as well, and I'll definitely share. We'll share some more throughout the coming weeks in our social media. And so before we go, guys, I just want to share you guys again, show you the calendar that we've got going on, just so you can see how to sign up for our activities. So here we go. So, for example, the in-person activities are right here, and this is specifically for our students at Approach. Here are the in-person activities. You can join us to visit the Frida Kahlo immersive experience, or you can join us to attend a basketball game and watch the Boston Celtics play against the Miami Heat. So it's gonna be super fun. They're gonna be happening this month. The Frida Kahlo experience, we're trying to have it happen in the 18th of February, and the Celtics game is on the third. It's on the 30th exactly, on a Wednesday. So check it out because we'll be happy to tag along with you to take you guys. Will be the ones Victor and I will be the ones going, and so You guys are welcome to tag along and definitely sign up. You just have to click the link right here, sign up here, and then you'll be good to go. All right? But that is it for today, guys. Do you have anything you would like to add?
No, no, that's it's always a pleasure to give, advices and tips on what to do in Boston. Because now I feel like all those years living here, studying here, going to college here, and working here, it's being more even more useful to me. So, I love giving those tips. So if anyone wants to know more, always feel free to reach out to us because we're here for that.
I agree, V. I agree. So thank you everyone for watching us, and we of course you guys can see that we love doing this podcast and having you guys here. So thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in to Approaching Your Future with your hosts Dana and Victor, where we discuss different cultural aspects of life in the United States. And we'll see you guys next Friday at 2 p.m. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. And make sure to follow us on Instagram at approach_USA to keep up with all the latest updates. All right. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Um, and we'll be back with more live streams.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, see you all next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.